Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well informed.
Great to be here.
We unpack complex topics, give you surprising facts, and hopefully just enough humor to keep you hooked.
Hopefully.
Today, we're plunging into something really quite fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the connection between acupuncture and fertility. Specifically, we're going to look at how it might influence ovarian blood flow.
It's a really compelling area. And, Western medicine is still kind of catching up with understanding some of these traditional practices fully.
Right.
But the sources we looked at for this deep dive, they offer some really promising insights into, well, the mechanisms that could be at play for fertility enhancement.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to try and unpack the how. How might acupuncture actually boost ovarian health? Is it about improving circulation, getting more oxygen there, more nutrients?
Tapping into the body's own systems, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Tapping into those natural systems for healing and regulation. So let's start right there at that foundational level. Our bodies have these incredible automatic controls, right, for things like blood flow.
Right, the autonomic nervous system.
Yeah. So how does acupuncture, just with those tiny needles, actually tap into that whole complex system?
That's a great question. Gets right to the core of it, really. What's really insightful from the research is how acupuncture seems to influence your autonomic nervous system.
Okay.
Which is, like you said, the body's unconscious traffic controller. It's adjusting blood flow, heart rate, digestion, all that stuff without you consciously doing it.
Right, automatic.
Exactly. So when those fine needles are placed at specific points, they stimulate sensory nerves.
Okay.
And these nerves send signals up the spinal cord, then onto the brain.
And this triggers something.
It triggers a reflex response, basically. And that response helps relax blood vessels, particularly in the pelvic region.
Which includes the ovaries.
Which includes the crucial vessels feeding the ovaries, yes. It essentially helps calm down an overactive stress response.
Ah, the stress connection again.
Yeah, and allows the body to shift into a more relaxed state where, well, things can just flow better, literally.
So it's not just feeling relaxed, it's a real physiological change, something you can measure.
Precisely. And there is concrete evidence. This isn't just, theory.
Okay, like what?
Well, research using things like Doppler ultrasound.
Which shows blood flow, right?
Exactly. It shows blood flow in real time. And studies using this have pretty consistently shown measurable increases in circulation in that pelvic area after acupuncture.
Huh.
Yeah, studies in journals like Human Reproduction, Journal of Acupuncture, and Meridian Studies. They've documented these improvements. So we're talking active, quantifiable changes.
Wow. That's incredibly specific. Okay, so beyond the nervous system just telling things to relax, is there like a chemical reaction happening too? Something on a microscopic level adding to this better flow?
There absolutely is. And this is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Go on.
Acupuncture seems to prompt the cells, the ones lining your blood vessels, and even nerve endings, to release their own internal relaxants.
Like the body making its own medicine?
Kind of. Natural compounds like nitric oxide, calcitonin, gene-related peptide, CGRP.
Okay.
Think of them as tiny natural chemicals that tell your arteries to whiten, to relax.
Like little plumbing helpers widening the pipes.
That's a good way to put it. And this significantly improves blood delivery overall.
And for the ovaries?
Well, for the ovaries, this means better access to crucial oxygen nutrients, everything needed for healthy egg development, and also for making hormones properly.
So it supports the whole function.
Exactly. There are studies in neuroscience letters, American Journal of Chinese Medicine too, that highlight how this internal biochemical shift really enhances ovarian health.
Okay, we've got nerves calming things down. We've got these natural chemicals widening the arteries. How does this all connect to the bigger picture? Especially hormones, the reproductive ones.
Right, this is where you see the broader impact. Acupuncture appears to subtly kind of retune the main control system.
The HPOI.
The hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis, yeah.
Yeah.
Your body's central command for reproduction.
Okay.
So when needles stimulate certain points, it seems to encourage the brain to release beneficial substances like beta endorphins.
Endorphins, okay. Like the feel-good chemicals.
They are, but they also play a key role in regulating hormones. Critical ones like LH, luteinizing hormone, and FSH, follicle-stimulating hormone.
Which are vital for the cycle.
Absolutely. And regulating those ultimately helps boost estrogen levels.
Ah.
And here's the interesting insight. Increased estrogen itself actually helps relax ovarian arteries.
So a positive feedback loop?
Exactly. It creates this loop that further improves blood flow, especially during that crucial fertile window in the menstrual cycle.
Fascinating. And there's research backing this hormonal link.
Oh, yes. Research in journals like Fertility and Sterility
Hmm.
and the Journal of Endocrinology provides pretty strong support for this connection.
Okay, so it makes sense then, thinking about stress. We hear all the time how stress can, throw a wrench into fertility plans. How does acupuncture fit in there?
It's a really significant connection, and it's one of the things acupuncture is probably best known for, right? Stress reduction.
Definitely.
So when you're stressed, your body releases stress hormones. Cortisol, the famous one.
Right.
And cortisol can actually constrict blood vessels, literally squeeze them tighter.
Reducing flow everywhere.
Including to the ovaries, yes,
Mhm.
which is obviously not ideal for fertility.
Not at all.
So acupuncture steps in by helping to actively lower these stress hormones and just generally calming the whole nervous system down.
That relaxation we talked about earlier.
Exactly. That profound state of relaxation it can induce helps those blood vessels open back up,
Letting the good stuff through.
ensuring the ovaries get the oxygen and nutrients they need to function optimally. There are studies looking specifically at this. Researchers like Wang et al., confirming these benefits. It shows how, a calmer mind can really translate to better physical function.
It all seems so interconnected. We've talked systemic effects, nervous system, hormones, stress. But are there also, direct local effects? Right where the needles are or near the ovaries?
Yes, that's another key piece of the puzzle. It's not all just brain signals.
Okay.
Acupuncture uses specific points, sometimes in the pelvic area itself, or maybe the lower back or legs, to create targeted local reflexes. These work through the spinal cord, too, but more regionally.
Like a mini command center just for that area.
That's a decent analogy, yeah.
Mm.
This reflex action, it's not just a broad effect. It specifically triggers the release of those vessel-dilating substances, like nitric oxide we mentioned,
Okay.
right there, locally.
So it's doubling down on widening the vessels in that specific region.
Precisely. This localized vasodilation further enhances what scientists call perfusion.
Perfusion just means blood delivery.
Yeah, the direct delivery of blood into the tissue, so better perfusion to the ovaries.
Wow.
Research by Anderson, Kim, and others provides evidence for this kind of precise, localized benefit, too.
Wow. Okay. That paints a really comprehensive picture of all the different ways it might be working. So with all these potential mechanisms, how does this actually stack up in the clinic? What does the research on, real people show us?
Right, the clinical evidence. Well, it generally does back up these effects.
Yeah.
Especially when looking at fertility treatments.
Like IVF?
Exactly. That Doppler ultrasound research we mentioned earlier, there was a significant study, again by Stenner Victorian's group, in fertility and sterility. It clearly showed acupuncture increased blood flow in both the ovarian and the uterine arteries.
Both. Okay. That's important.
Very important. And then looking at IVF outcomes, big reviews like one in Human Reproduction Update suggest acupuncture can improve success rates.
And they think it's because of this. Better blood flow, less stress.
That's the likely combination, yes. Better blood flow to the ovaries and uterus, plus the stress reduction. And it's not just for IVF.
Oh.
For women with specific conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS.
Which often involves hormonal imbalances and sometimes circulation issues.
Exactly. A study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found acupuncture helped improve ovarian circulation in women with PCOS. Again, likely by helping to balance hormones and reduce that sympathetic nervous system overdrive, that stress response.
So it's a pretty consistent picture emerging from different angles of research.
It seems to be, yes.
It's one thing hearing about mechanisms, studies.
Yeah.
But sometimes a real story makes it click. And we have a pretty remarkable one from our sources that seems to bring all this together.
We do. The journey of Mike Berkeley is really quite powerful. It illustrates these mechanisms in action, really.
How so?
Well, he and his wife faced their own profound struggles with infertility. It was incredibly difficult.
Oh, wow.
But then, acupuncture helped his wife conceive.
He saw it work firsthand.
He saw it firsthand. And for him, seeing how these principles, calming stress, enhancing circulation, helping balance hormones, could make such a difference, it was transformative.
I can imagine.
Witnessing that convergence, all these different mechanisms working together, leading to such a life-changing outcome, it basically led him to dedicate his career to it.
So he went into the field himself.
He did. He trained extensively, got certified in herbal medicine too, and then founded his own center back in 1998. the Berkeley Center for Reproductive Wellness.
Focus just on fertility.
Right. Apparently the first center in the U.S. solely focused on using these approaches, acupuncture, herbs, even light therapy to support fertility naturally or alongside treatments like IVF.
That's quite pioneering.
It really was.
Wow.
And over, 25 years now, they've helped hundreds of people. It really shows how that personalized care, addressing the body and mind, integrating these potential mechanisms we've discussed, how it can really make a difference for people.
That's a fantastic real-world example of how these scientific ideas can translate into hope and results for people.
Absolutely. And the sources mentioned they even do home visits and telehealth now, showing that commitment to making it accessible.
That's great. Okay, so to sort of wrap this up for you listening, we've seen how acupuncture isn't just like one single action.
No, definitely not.
It seems to be this multifaceted approach that may influence ovarian blood flow through a whole fascinating interplay of things.
Nerve responses.
Right, calming the system down.
Those natural compounds, the vasodilators,
Widening the arteries.
hormonal regulation through that HPO axis.
Stress reduction, which is huge.
And even those direct local reflexes, enhancing blood flow right where it's needed.
That's a complex picture.
It is. And it really raises an important question, I think, for all of us to consider.
Which is?
Well, in a world where we know our bodies are such complex, interconnected systems, how might really understanding and consciously supporting these natural processes through approaches like the ones we've explored today, how might that offer powerful new avenues, not just for fertility, but for health, for healing, for overall well-being? Something to think about.